Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So you haven't seen this face in any of my videos yet, but this is my husband Ricardo.
Hello.
I'm happy he's here with me. So the reason that we're both on camera today is because we wanted to tell you guys a little bit about our story. We thought it was time, right? Yeah, it's time. I would like for you guys to go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And if you are subscribed, go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos going forward. And now we're about to dive into our story.
Yeah.
Ready?
So at the top of the year, we found out that we were pregnant.
We made a baby.
We did
that.
Yes, we were successful.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that and what's kind of crazy is maybe a week prior, we were considering or thinking about, what we had planned, all our dreams and all the things that we wanted to do with YouTube, me with music, and how busy we were going to get. And we were like, does a child fit in all that?
Yeah.
Maybe we should go back on birth control.
Yeah.
So we had made an appointment for maybe a few days later for us to go in and get back on birth control. And right before we did that, she just...
I felt
symptoms?
it.
Yeah.
I was so tired. I was like, something is not right with me. I don't know what it is, but something's not right. But I was too scared to go buy it. So I called my sister, told her to buy a pregnancy test. And boom.
Yep. All three confirmed.
All three confirmed. We're pregnant.
So I come home from work and I don't know, the excitement was just crazy. It didn't set in just at first.
Yeah.
At first it was like, okay, I guess. But then what struck for me is the first gift that my wife bought me was a onesie. And it made it visual for me. It made it real because I had something tangible to tell me that a baby was coming. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh man, I hung it up in my studio.
It was like right.
I saw it everything.
His computer.
Yeah.
It's like right here in front of his computer. He hung the onesie up. It was so cute.
It's something serious when you are mature and you know or you understand what it means and what you're going to be providing to a child. It was just the most exciting thing. I don't think there was any fear.
No.
It was just excitement. It was a whole lot of excitement, and I was just so ready.
So that was in like January when we took the test, and then we confirmed our pregnancy with the doctors on February 14th, the best day ever.
Right.
On Valentine's Day, which was the best Valentine's Day we've ever had since we've been married. It was just so special to know that our love created something so beautiful. Mm-hmm. So we were 8 weeks pregnant, and we were excited. So, babe, remember that was the day that we saw the heartbeat. Well, we heard the heartbeat, saw the baby, and then we went to the back with Lisa, who was our nurse practitioner, and we saw the heartbeat. I'll show you the video. It's our little baby. Mm-hmm. We saw the hand move. Did you see the hand? Mm-hmm. Or I think you left at that time.
That's really awesome.
So beautiful.
Thank you. Man, it was beating so fast.
Just
and
fast. It was so pretty.
Yeah.
All right, so our pregnancy journey was actually quite beautiful. It was really cool because, I don't know, it was just easy.
Now, there was one factor that we didn't take into account and that we weren't aware of until we found out that she was pregnant, which is that Jazz, because of where the fibroid was, and she started to kind of feel that kind of early on. Really
early. So I was not like the typical pregnancy because I guess the way I showed a lot quicker. So like around 12 weeks, I looked like I was like 4 or 5 months pregnant. It was like out there. Right. So a fibroid is, from what I know, is a tumor on your uterus that grows. So I had two. One the size of an apple, and one they were 2 centimeters, like maybe cherry or something like that.
Right, yeah.
So the fibroid was located above where the baby would start to grow, and we felt it. It was like a big knot at the top, and everything was just pushed up. So that, I guess, was my only real
symptom
symptom
of pregnancy.
Yeah.
There was no oh, and also of course being extremely tired.
Yeah.
All the time. There was very small burst of energy, maybe at a 30-minute span.
No, come on.
Then all of a sudden, just bedridden. I'm like,
day's over.
Bruh. Couldn't do nothing.
Babe, I was so tired.
Yeah.
I don't think I understood what the word fatigue. When they said fatigue, I was like, okay. No, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's a
I
whole
was
nother
like,
level.
where is my
tired.
energy? But this guy right here is so gracious. He just was such a sweetheart throughout the whole process. He made me feel like I wasn't a loser. So pregnancy was really, really exciting. We started to, in the beginning we kind of went back and forth about wanting to know what the sex of our child would be. We were going to be that couple that was going to wait till the day to find out what the sex of the baby is until one day, further along in our pregnancy, my lovely husband, we go shopping together, and I'm just picking out neutral colors, grays, yellows, greens, some oranges, just neutral, standard, blacks, whites. This guy, I look over and he's so sad. He's in the little girl section picking up dresses. Like, wouldn't it make sense, babe, if we just knew what our baby was?
I need to know, man. I can't go shopping without knowing who I'm shopping for. What?
That is true.
How is that? You know what I mean?
You were in it for a minute.
Yeah, but man. So I am the one in the relationship that loves to shop.
Yeah,
so I really enjoy buying my wife's clothes. So I knew I was going to enjoy buying my baby's clothes. She was about to be
litty.
Yeah, lit. So swaggy all the time. All the time.
So fast forward to like 2 weeks into May is when we found out it was our 19 or 20 week appointment.
I think it was our first week in May.
First week in May?
Yes.
You're probably right.
Yeah, first week in May.
First week in May, 20 week appointment. I think it was 19 or 20 weeks.
About 19.
And we get to find out the sex of our baby. And we found out what, babe?
That she was a girl.
It's a girl.
Yes.
It's a girl.
It was awesome.
And that day, we gave our baby girl the name Legacy. Legacy Renee Blake.
Yes.
And we just love the name. The funny story is when we were dating is when we locked in on that name, Legacy.
Yes, we did.
Is that crazy?
Dating. Yeah.
That's how I knew he was going to be my husband.
That's how I knew she was going to be my wife.
We tell our family that it's a girl. Everybody is excited. We are just now waiting to show the world, announce it to the world that we're having a little girl. And what would you say, maybe a week or two later? Probably, if we were 19, then it would be about 2 weeks later. Mm-hmm. Our world kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah, totally crazy. So interesting for you guys is you'd be able to see a video where Jazz is, she's pregnant.
I'll clip the video.
It was so awesome. She was so happy that day. Very beautiful. You'll see it. It's gorgeous as always. But she was making her video and she had energy. She finally was feeling like, hey, I'm back on. I can do this.
Yeah.
And that is the same day that I came home from work. And when I walked in, she's making dinner. She's happy. She's telling me about how great of a day she had, that she finally is back in it. And we find out, right there in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Her water broke.
My water breaks.
At 21 weeks.
Yeah,
Or
20 weeks. My water breaks.
Yes.
Wild.
Now, to backtrack a little bit, I'd like to make sure you guys know of the symptoms that she experienced previous to that we had no idea about what to look for. That, I guess, are things you should make sure you pay attention to.
So maybe about a week before, like right after we found out the sex of little Legacy, there was a lot of creamy like substance. So if it's too much for you, you can like fast forward through this part. It's very creamy in that area. So there's a lot of discharge. But I'm reading on my apps and they say it was normal, but mine, I would say, was
thicker than normal.
Very thick And it was excessive. Up until that point, it was only about a week that happened. But now, later, understanding that that's the mucus plug that was actually like...
holding the water in.
Yeah, so that was coming out over time. It was a huge gush of water, like huge gush.
Yeah.
All on the kitchen floor. As I'm walking, each step I take, water is coming out. Mm-hmm. And then we call our nurse practitioner, who's also our friend, and she is usually a very vivacious and fun and loving, bubbly person. But this call, she was like, honey, I'm scared. You need to go to the hospital right now.
Right. I was so nervous because
so nervous.
I know that every step she's taking, more water is coming out, and
Every
I know
step.
that it's important for the baby's survival. So I'm trying to figure out. We live on the 3rd floor of an apartment at this time, and we're just wondering, how am I going to transition you from this place to that place?
Yeah.
But we did it, and we got to the hospital.
So we check in at the hospital, and I'm still a little bit like naive to what's actually happening. Mm-hmm. And the doctor comes in and he says that your water, he does a couple tests and it confirms that our water definitely had broken. And he was concerned because I'm 21 weeks pregnant at this time. 20 weeks pregnant at this time. He told us the good and the bad.
Right.
If she comes early, it's not looking too good. We're going to try and sustain life as much as we can, but our goal is to keep you pregnant. And immediately we were put on strict bed rest at that point.
Mm-hmm. So, but the good thing is at that moment, we were able to hear the heartbeat, and that was just such a relief.
Oh, yes.
Of course, my wife, as emotional as she is, cried again, just weeping. But I think it was from happiness of the fact that
she was okay.
She was still good.
Yeah.
And it was a strong heartbeat, too. But then we stay the night? No, did they?
We stayed.
Yeah, we stayed the night because we were
days.
supposed to be on bed rest. But this is when we found out about viability and what it means for a baby to be viable.
So I'd never heard that term before. So 3 days before we get to that point, 3 days we're sitting there. We have our friends come in and they're praying for us. And we are so confident that we are going to be able to keep her in, stay pregnant. They said essentially my amniotic fluid, which is where the baby, survives in, was down to like 3, I don't know specifically. Was it like 3 centimeters?
I can't remember.
Something like that. But they said...
the number was 3.
The number was 3.
Ideal is 10?
Ideal is 18, but they were trying to get us to 10.
Right. Yes, ideal is 18.
So they had us be drinking tons of water. They had IVs with constant fluid. Theory is the more I drink, the more she has to go to the bathroom, and the more she can replenish the amniotic fluid. And
notice he was saying us. I was drinking water too, just in case. I'm playing.
Just in case. But fun fact, I did not know that the amniotic fluid, majority of it was made up of actually pee.
Yeah.
Pee from the baby. Not mine. The baby's pee.
Right.
Literally all I could do was drink water. And this mama was like, I'm going to drink water.
Every minute that
Every time I could, I was drinking water.
Yeah.
And one thing I have to just highlight my husband real quick. When they put me on strict bed rest, I could not get up. So that means you use the bathroom in your bed in a bedpan.
Yeah.
And at first we had the nurse come in and help me, and he was just watching the nurse. And from that point on, I think you wanted to protect me, or you just... I don't know what it was, but he just stood up, and every single time, and when I say I was going to the bathroom probably every 45 minutes, right. He would just all right, babe, he'd get the bedpan, and
my reason was because the second or third time I noticed that, she had to press the button to call the nurse. At this time you have to use the bathroom, and then you have to wait for them to come in. If they're busy, they may not be able to come immediately, so you got to hold it. Nah, bruh, I got you.
I knew we were so in love, but that's just another level where we haven't had to like need each other in that area, you know, like I could go to the bathroom by myself, but to know that if anything were to happen to him or myself, like we have each other, that was it was a really beautiful moment. So we were in the hospital for about 3 days, and they're checking us, and throughout that time we get to hear her heartbeat, which just keeps us calm and sane, and it's such a beautiful moment. And as my husband was saying, that's when the term viability came up. Never heard of it, didn't know what it was. When they say that your pregnancy is viable at 24 weeks, it pretty much means that they have enough, the baby has enough functioning organs to survive. With help, of course. They need a little bit of help in the NICU to get them going. But our baby, at this point, we are 20 weeks. We were going into our 21st week when they were about to discharge us. And that word viable really ticked me off. I didn't like that because I heard my baby. We felt. It was beautiful. On Mother's Day was the first day I felt her kick. And so we felt her. We experienced her. My body changed. I mean, I'm like, how are you saying it's not a viable pregnancy when every 2 hours they were coming in to check her heartbeat? Y'all hear it? She's beating and it's strong.
Right. Still remain positive.
Yes.
We prayed and we went home and we did everything exactly how they said we should.
What I want to make sure you guys know that they didn't just tell us to go home and just have fun, figure it out. They discharged us saying when we get to week 24, they'll readmit us into the hospital and we'll stay there until she comes. So the hope we felt, all I knew was like 2 weeks at home and I knew my world was like the pregnancy was going to shift, but that just meant our story was going to be at the hospital.
Right.
Like, and I was okay with that. Anything to get her here. So our day, every single day, I could cry thinking about it. I might cry.
It's okay.
That was a good moment.
It was.
Every day that we woke up, I was like, one more day until we get back to the hospital.
We're counting down.
We were on countdown mode, so that was a really exciting and hopeful time. So I would say we were home. We got discharged on a Thursday. And Sunday, late Sunday night, it was like 11 something, is when I check, I'm going to the bathroom and I check and there's blood. Yeah. But it was more like
very light.
It was very light.
Like pinkish.
Yeah, it was pinkish. And I was like, that's odd, you know.
And more mucus.
It was more mucus and more blood. So then, I think we were just about to go to bed, and he told me, go check again. I had to go to the bathroom and check again. And we
prayed.
Yeah, we prayed like crazy. I checked again, and this time it was a lot of blood. So we called our nurse practitioner, and she's like, honey, I just think you should go back into the hospital. And this time was different than the first time we went to the hospital. We had like a peace. It was like God was like really protecting us during this moment. We get to the hospital, and this time we had to wait a little bit longer. I mean, they check us into labor and delivery. No, we get to the pregnancy side of the hospital. We get into like a little holding room. And this time it was sad. So
the doctor comes in.
The nurse. The nurse comes in and checks, and my heart is pounding so fast. And she checks, and there's no heartbeat.
She didn't find the heartbeat.
Didn't find the heartbeat.
Initially, we were still hopeful. Still thinking, hey, this is going to be okay. You know, she's just not finding it because maybe it may be weak or whatever the case is. But it's there. Just keep looking.
Right.
Let's wait till the doctor comes. He'll find it. Let's wait till God shows up. He'll make it known. You know, all these things are going through my mind.
Even when she didn't, I mean, I was nervous when she said she couldn't find the heartbeat, but I'm like, okay, girl, go get somebody that can find it.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. And then our doctor comes in. Maybe it felt like eternity before he came in. We were so quiet. My heart was pounding. And the doctor comes in. Sorry.
We're gonna be sorry.
And he couldn't find it either.
Yeah.
He hung his head and was like, I'm sorry, but there's no heartbeat.
Yeah. That was very sad.
That was a sad moment. I couldn't believe it.